In today's video, we're going to be looking at what might happen if Resident Evil and Dead by Daylight partnered up to make the next chapter. We're going to look at Nemesis as a killer, Jill Valentine as a survivor, then we're going to look at the powers, the perks, the Mori, the cosmetics, the map, all in this video, so make sure you watch till the end. And if at any point you think you're enjoying the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're new here, but let's jump into it. Let's start with the survivor, and I honestly think, looking at Jill here, look how good Jill Valentine looks in Dead by Daylight. I think she would fit so very well into the game, with or without the gun. We'll talk about the gun a little bit later, but I think she would look really cool anyway. And one of the best things about Resident Evil is there are so many characters, so I've picked out a few that could be legendary cosmetics for Jill Valentine. You've got people like Claire Redfield and Leon as well. You could even do Chris Redfield if you wanted to. There are so many. If you have any ideas, make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know what other cosmetics you could have for a survivor in a Resident Evil chapter in Dead by Daylight. There are so many, and it would be really great to see what you guys think about that. Another really cool thing about Resident Evil is that so many of the locations in any of the games sound like Dead by Daylight maps anyway. They look like Dead by Daylight maps. You could pretty much just take a chunk out of any part of any of the Resident Evil games, and they could be a Dead by Daylight map. You think about just Resident Evil 3, you got Raccoon City, you've got the water treatment plant, you got the hospitals, you got the clock tower place. You got so many things going on that could just go into the game. So maps are it would be so easy for them to just think of a map location. And you can even bring out 2 maps. Why not? Why not break the bank, buy 2 maps from Resident Evil and use that in the game? It would be amazing. Let's move on to the perks and talk about what she might play like. When a new survivor comes out, we get 3 teachable perks that could be unlocked on them. So let's start with number 1, which is It's My Turn. You're tired of running, it's time to fight back. Once per trial, you can shoot a pistol. If the killer is hit, they become stunned for 5 seconds and drop carried survivors. It's my turn, bitch. Jill Valentine. I think this could be controversial, but somebody mentioned it on a live stream as an item, and I was like, that's a cool idea. Let me try and make that into a perk, kind of like diversion, except you can only use it 1 time. So you shoot the pistol. If the killer gets hit, they drop the survivor they're carrying and get stunned for a little bit. That's pretty much all there is to it. So there's a maximum of 4 times this could be used in a trial. So if each survivor brought it, they could be stunned 4 times. Maybe that could be overpowered, maybe not. I don't really care because it sounds really cool as a concept, and I like the idea of bringing Jill in with a weapon to defend herself. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I can see it being useful in a few situations, like at the end game. If you wanted to get an extra person out the gate, you could potentially shoot somebody then. The main key point why I don't think this would necessarily be overpowered is because you've only got it once per trial. So getting the timing right would be really difficult. It's not like Decisive Strike when you know when you can use it. You can use this any time. And also there would probably be like some sort of aiming mechanic to it. You have to be at the center of the screen. Again, kind of like Diversion. So you aim where you want the rock to go. You'd have to aim where the pistol wants to go. So I don't know about it, but I think it sounds pretty cool. Let me know what you think. The next perk is called This Is the Last Time. Numerous battles are left you determined to escape. After reaching the struggle phase on a sacrificial hook, your vault speed is increased by 25% and you were able to drop pallets 15% quicker. Just so you know, this is the last fucking time. Jill Valentine. I don't know why I give her that kind of accent, I just do. But the idea behind this was to kind of increase the viability of vault speed builds, basically, especially towards the end of the game for yourself. So if you've been hooked twice, essentially, I worded it this way because obviously you could just wait until the second hook and not get unhooked, and that would you still want to get this boost. So I said after entering the struggle phase, you get this boost, and it just means that towards the end of your life, you're a bit stronger, you can vault a bit quicker, and you can drop pallets quicker, which I don't think any of the perks drop pallets quicker at the moment. Maybe they do, maybe Spine Chill does, but I thought it was a cool idea anyway, and it fits with the character, so yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. The third and final perk is called Last Escape. You revel in the knowledge that your suffering will soon be over. When the endgame collapse begins, the killer's aura is revealed to you and you're hidden from the killer's aura reading abilities for 30 seconds. It was Raccoon City's last chance and my last chance. My last escape. Jill Valentine. I'm not sure how she reads that completely differently to how I just read it because I just butchered it completely. But I think it's a kind of a cool perk that at the end of the match, you have a little bit of stealth, a little bit more stealth than you normally would. You're hidden from the killer's aura reading abilities, and the killer's aura is revealed to you, basically, for 30 seconds. So you can maybe sneak around to an exit gate a bit quicker than you'd expect to be able to. That was the whole idea behind it. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe she doesn't have the strongest perks, but I think they're pretty sweet and they make a lot of sense to her character. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but let's go to what everybody wants to see. Let's look at Nemesis. So as a lot of people noted when I was doing the live streams, I've gone for stage 1 Nemesis. That's purely an aesthetic thing. I just think the stage 2 Nemesis wouldn't look that great on this screen, or maybe even in the game. You could do them in the game. It's kind of like Demogorgon, I guess, in some ways. But I've gone with stage 1 Nemesis, and then as a second cosmetic, I've gone for Mr. X or a Tyrant.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own.
You could do so many different ones. You could do so many different cosmetics for Nemesis as well. Again, this is one of those things where I could never list all of the possibilities. Maybe I could list all of them, but I would probably miss a ton out if I tried to list all the possibilities. So it's better for you guys to use your imagination and think about, hey, what kind of characters could be, you know, legendary skins for Nemesis, or who would you prefer as the main killer? I've gone for the name the bioweapon. That was suggested for me in the live stream, so thank you very much. The live streams are really helpful to get your guys' ideas. I might do them in the future, but it did slow down my progress quite a bit, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But with that being said, let's move on to a bit more specifics about the killer. We've got a speed of 4.6 meters a second, a terror radius of 32 meters, and as you all know, he is tall as fuck. He'd probably be as tall as the game would let you be, you know, where he's not bumping into doors. Maybe he ducks below doors. I don't know how that works for animations and stuff, but he would just be fucking tall. That's pretty much all there is to it. When we start talking about the power, there are a few ways that people wanted me to go, and we could have gone with rocket launchers and weapons and flamethrowers and all that kind of thing, or we could have gone with the infection route, or we could have gone with the brute strength route. Now, I've gone with Tyrant's Touch, which is an infection power. So I'll read it out to you. An intelligent yet fearsome killer, the bioweapon uses his mutated body to infect survivors with a deadly virus, slowing their progress. So you press and hold the power button to charge your power. The bioweapon extends his tentacle towards the survivor. He has tentacles, alright? If you play the games, he has bloody tentacles. If the attack makes contact, the survivor is injured and suffers from the necrosis effect. This power has a 30-second cooldown. The necrosis effect has a deteriorating impact on survivors, slowing their movement and action speed whilst obstructing their vision. These effects increase over time, culminating in the survivor becoming unable to perform actions at all and moving at 75% of their normal speed, which is pretty insane. The survivors can reverse this effect with the cure. Okay, so they can remove this effect from themselves or others by finding the cure in the realm. The cure gets picked up as an item. There's multiple locations where you can pick it up from, and then it can be administered to any survivor, including yourself. Once the cure is picked up, another is synthesized after 45 seconds. Once the cure is used or a survivor escapes the trial with the cure, it is taken by the entity. So you can't take it out of the trial and go back in with the syringe. Is basically what I wanted to go with. Also, I wanted to go with the fact that it does respawn after 45 seconds. Otherwise, initially my idea was there was only be one cure. All right, and then somebody had the responsibility of curing everybody. But then I thought, hey, somebody could just hold that hostage. Probably me. If I was playing Survive, I'd probably just get the cure and then run around, fucking around, annoying people. So I thought maybe best not to do that. But that's the power. I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how they get slowed down, kind of like a zombie, and they become unable to do effects, kind of like a zombie as well. It affects your brain and all that kind of stuff. I think it's pretty cool. I like the idea of an item being specific to a killer, and then it goes away after the match. I think that's pretty sweet as well. The guys in the live stream really helped with this power, so thank you very much to the guys that came out. But yeah, I hope you like it. Let's move on to the teachable perks. We have got the first perk called Juggernaut that was brought to me by a combination of Blizzard and Sunpraiser in the live stream, so thank you. Your overwhelming power annihilates all that stands in your way. Walking into a drop pallet or breakable wall breaks it instantly. This perk has a 30-second cooldown after each use. And the way that would work is essentially it's designed to make your chase game really, really strong. So if you build like a no pallet build, so like brutal strength, enduring, maybe Spirit Fury, and then this as well, you would just destroy pallets and they wouldn't be in your way. I'm picturing this not being used that much, like it wouldn't be meta, but for people that have a real trouble, like if you've had a few matches where you're just getting stunned by pallets all the time, people are looping you for fucking like 10 minutes, this would probably be really useful, so I hope you guys like it. Let's move on to the next one. The second perk is called Primary Target. Shout out to Little Hop for the idea for this. You become obsessed with one survivor. When your obsession is healthy and stuns you by any means, the stun is negated and they become exposed for 30 seconds. When this perk activates, a new obsession is chosen at the entity's will. So this is kind of interesting. So your obsession is healthy, right? And they stun you with a pallet or with a flashlight or with Decisive Strike. It wouldn't happen with Decisive Strike. With head-on, maybe. Stun gets negated and then they become exposed. So this would be a head-on killer pretty much, because anybody that head-ons you would be absolutely ruined. It's a head-on killer without Iron Maiden, essentially. It would be really, really cool. And then when the perk activates, a new obsession is chosen the entity's will, which means that you can't just, like, even if you're there exposed and they stun you again, they're not going to get exposed for another 30 seconds. That's the whole idea behind it and why it changes the obsession. But I think it's pretty sweet. It's got a lot of conditions to it, so it's not OP. You know, it has to be just the obsession. but it's kind of nice. And thank you, Little Hops, for the idea. It's pretty cool. So the third and final perk is called Hex Apocalypse. And the original idea for this perk, which was called Hex Dawnbreaker, was given to me by somebody called Anime Girl. And I know, I'm sorry I changed the name and I changed a few of the ideas behind it, but it's my video and I want to make things a little bit different, a little bit unique for my taste. So if a dull totem remains at the start of the endgame collapse, it becomes a hex totem with the following effect. So that's kind of like Noed already. The endgame collapse timer progresses at normal speed regardless of survivor health state. So normally if you get downed or you get hooked, the endgame collapse timer slows down, whereas with this, it wouldn't. Then, when a survivor is put into the dying state during the endgame collapse, one exit gate is blocked for 30 seconds or until the totem is cleansed. So it's kind of half of Blood Warden, but it's kind of got a bit of an extra bonus in that the endgame collapse timer progresses at normal speed. And you have to, and obviously it's linked to a hex totem. So I think it's pretty cool. It's a really cool idea, so thank you for that, Anime Girl. But I'm sorry, I had to tweak it a little bit to tweak it. But it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Let's move on. We've spoken about everything apart from the Mori. Now, this is a real point of contention. There were so many ways that this could go. The two most popular ways that this could go was either A, there was a tentacle involved. So his tentacles would be used to kind of choke survivors or impale them or something like that, inject them with too much T-virus so they turn into a zombie and walk around. All that kind of stuff. Tentacle-based ones were one direction. The second direction, which I'm kind of leaning towards because of the way we've implemented the power, second option was that you'd use your weapons. So maybe the entity would be able to drop in a rocket launcher or spawn in a rocket launcher for Nemesis in like a dark, a dark fog kind of misty entity spike animation-y type thing, pulls out a rocket launcher and just absolutely obliterates the survivor on the floor or in the air or in his hand. Anything like that would be really, really cool. There were a lot of really good ideas arranged around like him turning into stage 2 and doing a Mori and that kind of thing, but I think these were the two most popular options. Let me know what you think down below about what your favorite option for a Mori would be, or if you've got a new Mori. If you've got a new Mori idea, let me know, and I'd love to read it. But that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure you hit a like, and again, like I say, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.